Once upon a time, people said rock music was dead. Introducing Fontaines D.C. They have taken it on themselves to resuscitate the dying indie punk rock music scene, igniting a resurgence, blending raw authenticity with poetic storytelling. But how did they manage to breathe life into a genre many thought had lost its edge? Let's dive into the rise of Fontaines D.C. and their role in reviving indie punk and rock music for the new generation. Let's rewind to the late 2010s, a dark period for guitar music. The indie and rock scenes were experiencing a slump. Critics had declared it irrelevant. Pop music had taken over the charts. Rock had become a shadow of its former self, often accused of losing its rebellious spirit and cultural relevance. Fontaines D.C. album Doggerel was a breath of fresh air. Doggerel wasn't just an album, it was a statement. It was a reminder that people could deeply connect to guitar music. Romance sparked a significant evolution in Fontaines D.C.'s music, offering a softer, more introspective side to the band. Romance isn't so much a departure from their last music, but a natural progression, still including the raw, aggressive sounding tracks, but now juxtaposed with more ambience. They're not bringing back their old sounds, they're innovating. Starburster is a raw hit of aggressive energy, utilizing a Mellotron synth, a distorted guitar, and crunched out drums to supply the backing to the vocals. Even the chord progression evokes a feeling of uncertainty. Now, let's get on to the music making. So I think I want to start off with a track like Starburster. So I kind of like how these layers build up with the Mellotron. So I'm going to just try and get something like that in. Okay, I think that sounds good. So now let's get some piano. That sounds pretty good, just highlighting the accents. Now I want to add some low end to this. Now we have an intro that is building up, and then this last little melody. Okay, this is super distorted. So I just want to get the groove down first. So Addictive Drums, the metal drum kit sounds good. Wow, that finger drumming needs a little bit of work. And straight off the bat, Decapitator. Then the hi-hat groove on top. Okay, we're getting that feeling. And then they had some guitar. So I remember reading online that they run the spring reverb, then the overdrive, and then a tremolo.
Just a bunch of overdrive on top of the reverb. I always have that spring reverb first. That was a mistake starting out, you know. First time in a studio recording a single, they were like, oh no, you have to flip those around, it gets so dirty and stuff. I was like, that's what I want, you know? Like.
So let's try and add a guitar line like that. So I've added some effects on, including this effect from the high voltage pack in Beam, which totally transforms the sound. And now we have this. Okay, so the distorted guitar strums are in there. And then another one again on the other side. Okay, so we need to change the bass pattern. So all the patterns are just following that new chord progression. And maybe one more guitar thing. So from their evident Nirvana influence, I kind of
reinterpolated
this drum break.
Hey, wait, I gotta...
Then I just did this intro bit again, ripped off the last song. So then a new guitar melody to keep it interesting. So a cool little distorted lead, just keeping the track even more interesting. Then obviously for the chorus, I want to keep this lead going, but I'm going to actually have to change the notes. Then I want to add another lead just to keep it interesting.
Hit me for the day, for the love.
Okay, so there's an orchestrated part of this track. It's got like new chords and everything. In songs such as Favourite, Fontaines lean more into a mainstream indie sound, whose catchy riffs kind of remind me of The Smiths, also featuring layered acoustic guitars, signature crunchy drums and catchy melodies.
I can claim the dreamer from the dream.
Okay, that one's a cool vibe. So I want to start with the drum groove. Today's video is sponsored by Lunacy Audio, who have kindly sent me over their plugin Beam. Now, Beam has lots of expansions, including inventive reverbs, granular effects, and filtering effects, amongst many more. But today I'm going to be going over the expansion Vault. Vault is a creative 3-in-1 distortion module designed exclusively for Beam, combining complex analog emulated circuitry, finely tuned multiband compression, and a unique feedback delay network to electrify any sound and create your perfect blend of distortion. So check out some before and afters from sounds in this video. I love how this plugin can just alter any sound you put down. Beam owners can get Vault for only $29, and users without Beam can grab the Beam bundle for $99. They currently have a rent-to-own option as well for only $575 a month. Thank you again to Lunacy Audio for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check out Beam, the link will be in the description. I can't get these hi-hats to sound right, so I just dragged in this loop. So they always tend to do these triple strums. So I definitely want to put that in to get the vibe. So So I actually mic'd them with an SM57 and then just panned them. Then I did this match EQ with the actual guitars from Favorite. So the acoustics are kind of more for the high end, like he says in this interview.
Can't stop thinking about the guitars as sort of like a part of the drum kit. So it's either like you're following the vocals or you're following the drums, you know?
And then that gave me this sound so far. So now some bass. So just following the root notes of the chords and adding some melody. Okay, that guitar part is nice. So I need to find a catchy guitar part. And then maybe we'll double up that layer with another. Okay, it actually has some strummed electric in it. Now a bit for the verse. And then if I pan one each way. So I'm just outlining the chords. So some key elements I see in the production of Fontaines DC's music. Layered acoustic guitar strumming sections, distorted riffs with spring reverb and often overdrive, saturated drums, catchy melodies, string sections, and ever-changing riffs throughout their songs. This album doesn't just expand Fontaines DC's sound, it cements their status as a band willing to take risks and evolve. In doing so, it redefines what punk, rock, and indie music can be. Thank you for watching.